Sandstone.
Yeah, it's a sedimentary family. We're looking at conglomerate as well as sandstone. Another thing that you'll see streaking through here in some areas are these white lines. And this is actually gypsum. And we'll be talking more about this later on. And gypsum plays a very big role in the lifespan of this rock, or this rock type. What do you notice about the rock, the fragment sizes that make this up?
Pretty big.
Yeah, well, you have some parts that are relatively large. Are they all that same size though?
No.
Nope, to the sand size. We'll talk more about the angularity or roundness in just a moment, but yeah, they're not completely well rounded. The average size, it kind of depends on where you're looking. You're going from a sand to maybe a couple of inches for an average class size. Yeah, sand size, sand to a couple of inches for the average. And for the larger sizes that we see further down, they actually get bigger to be about 4 to 6 inches in terms of size. I'm skipping question number 3 and going down to question number 4 for those of you who are using that packet. Tell me about some of the rocks that you see embedded in here. What do you see? You might have to, come close and look. You can look at some of the stuff at your feet, like in there. But you might have to get up and close and personal with the rock to look.
Some of the granite that was close by.
You've seen, have you guys been to Stop 1?
No.
Stop 2?
Yes.
Okay, you've seen at least 2 of the rocks that make this up.
Oh,
Yes.
what are you, in the advanced class?
Nice and granite. So those are 2 of the rocks that we find embedded in here. And you kind of see there's a really nice further up, which we'll look at in a little bit. We also find quartz, as well as feldspar. And again, that white streak. What is it?
Gypsum?
Yep. Don't forget about gypsum. And that's essentially what this is. Well, other rocks for this too would be the diabase. And the thing is that in order for this to contain granite and gneiss, the granite and gneiss had to have been here, right? Down Streisand to be embedded in this rock. The diabase dike, however, was not around when this rock formed. So how in the world do we see bits of it in here? It could be due to intrusion, yeah. And the thought is that as this area was being uplifted and eroded, that some of the diabase ended up getting incorporated in the upper parts of this. And that's why we see a younger rock and an older rock. It just kind of assimilated in there. So again, this is part of your other rocks that you find here. Okay, next page. The bedding. How many of you guys have gone through what beds are other than something to sleep on in your geology classes? Layers, rock layers, they make rock beds. A little bit. here and we'll kind of stretch it that way. But guys, it's a lot easier if I don't have to talk over a lot of people talking. And I'm pregnant and cranky, so shh.
That's a good combination.
Yes, and I have acid in my hand, which makes it even better. Okay, so we're on question number 5, dealing with the thickness and thinness of these beds. And we go from bedding layers that are like this to bedding layers that are like that thick. So what would you put down for the bedding thickness? Thin to
Thin to medium.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thin to medium would be a good thing to put down. Thin to medium. For bedding thickness. Yep, just mark them both. This is lower red because it's red rock. The upper member of the Dare Formation is up there and it's tan. So, and for the bedding itself, we're looking at something that is well defined because,
You can see it.
yeah, exactly. I can see those individual bedding planes. And the same thing with that thin strip of gypsum. I'm trying to make sure I do this in order to make your lives easier. Okay, sorting of the grains. We have areas where we've got beautiful graded bedding, where you've got basically in the environment allowed the heavier stuff to drop out, and then the finer particles ended up getting dropped out, to places where, like right up in there, where it's all mixed. You've got big rocks mixed with little rocks. So it's, yeah, poor to moderately sorted. Moderately sorted. And then for the angularity, I heard somebody say, in regards to the clasped shape, they're not angular. We do find some things that are subangular. Do you find a lot of river rock where it looks really nice and smooth and round in here anywhere? Not so much. But you might find some roundness, so you'll have poorly rounded. So we've got subangular to poorly rounded shapes. And what this tells us about the environment is that this stuff has not moved too far. It's pretty close to the actual source. Okay, the cementation. And we can move up here a little bit. Okay, we do see that this actually forms some areas of cliffs. But I can still pull off chunks with my hand, and even though I will say I am incredibly strong, I am not that strong. So what would you say about the cementation?
Moderately.
Yeah. Definitely moderately cemented. And you can still see some more areas where you can see the poorly sorted grains up there. There's a nice nices over on the other side. So, looking at what cements this stuff together, you should automatically mark one of those things off because you see that white stripe. It's right here again. Yep. And gypsum does not make a very good glue for grains. Careful. 9 months pregnant and the baby's coming. Thank you. Sorry. Okay, I'm good. Thank you. Woo! And I poured out all the acid.